Good morning. Is the mic on? A little bit sounds a little bit feedbacking a little bit. Here? Yeah? Yeah. Oh, it's feedbacking a little bit, high frequency. I think it's maybe the sound from the somehow it's resonating with the instrument. Okay. So, welcome. My name is Yogetsu Akasaka. I am from Japan, and I'm here for having a live concert and workshops, and been staying here for about a week already. And today I'm going to have a Dharma talk and workshop. I'd like to talk about my life path and some suggestion for new way of life with Zen practice. So, I was born and raised in Tokyo, Japan. Raised in a general family. And when I was in high school, my father became a Soto Zen Buddhist monk. It was not quite normal in terms of becoming a Buddhist monk and priest. It's because in Japan, Buddhist priests were usually succeeded by generation to generation. So if you go to monasteries, 80 to 90% of Buddhist monks, they were born and raised in a temple family. So in my case, it was quite rare that my father became a monk, so I was not born and raised in a temple. But because of that, I was born and raised in a normal family, but because of my father, I decided to follow my father's step. Although, when I decided to become a Buddhist monk, I was totally in to my own life path, which was being a musician. And my dream was becoming a successful musician, traveling around the world playing music. But at the same time, I was very interested in spirituality. Very interested in investigating what's the meaning of life. What is life and death? What's the best option for my life? And what's the ideal goal for my life? And I found myself peaceful mind. In Buddhism, we say bodhisattva's mind. This is ideal. This is a goal I need to be. But at the same time, I wanted to be really successful for my life in terms of what I was doing, which was music. So I was wondering always how I could integrate those two. But my priority at the time was doing music. But in the meantime, I decided myself, following my father's footstep, would going to be opening my new path, new life path. So I decided myself to become a Buddhist monk when I was 30. And I became a Buddhist monk about 3 years later, which was way earlier than I expected. And I went to a monastery ordained by Zen master Koshu Itabashi, who was a former head priest of Sojiji, head monastery of Soto Zen Buddhism, and practiced at his monastery for 2.5 years with many cats. And our monastery was called as Cat's Temple. And one of his teachings was always like, live like cats. Live like cats. What does that mean? Well, he was saying, he passed away about 3 years ago. But his message was always like, cats, they always find some place. When it's hot, they always find something somewhere cool. And when it's cold, they're always trying to find somewhere really warm and never complaining. So in Zen practice, he was also saying, it's hot when it's hot, and it's cold when it's cold. So just be with it. And also, he was saying, being as you are, and one breath, next breath, is a way to experience your life. Everyone is looking for the purpose of life and thinking about it. And he was saying, like, you never get the answer as long as you keep thinking about it. Because life is always like this breath and another breath. So these teachings really influenced me a lot. Especially just be as you are. In a monastic life, we do same things all together. There is no opportunity to show yourself. Because monastic lives are supposed to be kind of like seizing your egoistic mind through the practices which are supposed to be done mindfully. So always trying to be in the present moment while you're doing anything. Cooking, cleaning, gardening, whatever it is. You always need to be with it. And forget about your idea, your small ideas. And just follow the rules. It really sounds like kind of like forcing ourselves, putting in a box. But it's opposite. If you live with really regular practice, always, every day, wake up at the same time, sleep at the same time, eat at the same time, work at the same time, if you live with that, you don't really need to think about anything. You always can be really in the present moment. And then you, yourself, naturally comes up. And my teacher was always saying, hey, Zen practice is all about getting rid of your small idea and small egos. Keep getting rid of it. But in the end, something will arise. Which is going to be the true essence of yourself. So this teaching has been really influencing me. In a way that how I can live with my passion, with my curiosity. Be as you are is a kind of a tricky word because it sounds like you can just behave free as you like. Maybe mistakenly understood like, hey, this is me, so I can do anything what I want. But actually, when I say my true self, your true self, in a Buddhist context, we call it as a Buddha nature. As we really clarify our mind, our Buddha nature, which is ourself with full of compassion, will arise. So live with it would be such a really joyful, peaceful, calmful mind, and of course feeling a little bit excitement to to explore your new life. And if you can live with your passion and curiosity, which I believe is our strong drive to explore our own life path. And Zen practice is basically based on the practices which is nothing special. Our main practices: sitting meditation, cleaning, cooking, gardening. Through those practices, we will find peaceful mind, bodhisattva mind, leading to enlightenment. What a beautiful thing. Ultimately, our true happiness will be brought by nothing special. Something pretty normal, or even something what most people don't want to do. Cleaning. How much people can believe cleaning is the way? And especially bathroom, toilet. I had some public speech at the wellness conference, international wellness conference in Europe. All the speakers are talking about health and how we can have the ultimate healthy life and things through meditation, of course. Also like doing breath work, which I do also. Taking the ice bath, what the merit of taking the ice bath, this kind of stuff. And I said, hey, clean the toilet first. And everyone laughed about it. But I also shared some information that in a Zen monastery in Japan, we have a Usasama Myo in Japanese, which simply saying the god of toilet. And everyone laughed about it as well. And so it's really nice to know there is something you can find something really precious, which everybody else think as it's not. In my case, in my life path, I chose my life to be different from others. I didn't choose to get a job after graduating university. I had some periods of time with some depression, with no hope for my future. No energy to think about anything. Losing my passion for music, which was the biggest passion and curiosity. And just imagine when you lose your curiosity and passion for something you had the most. Life seemed to be very empty. Then I started seeking my life. How can I get out of this situation? I started reading so many books about life, psychology, spirituality, how to make money also. And then I found myself, okay, following my passion, curiosity, just pursuing that, and following that, just living with that life path, my own life path, would be the best way to be happy, to have a most content life for myself. I was not 100% sure, but there was the only thing I could believe myself. It was, of course, very challenging. Every other classmates had a job. Me not. Instead of that, I went to a mixed martial arts gym every day. And at the time, my passion was doing martial art. I started from karate and kickboxing and ended up MMA fighting. Kind of dreaming of becoming a professional martial artist. And after some fight, after some competition, I got some injury and it's kind of gradually going away from doing martial arts, and started seeking my life again, and joining some course to investigate deeply myself. And finally I found myself, I wanted to become a musician. That was my biggest dream. I was totally forgetting about it, even trying not to see it, because there was huge fear with it. If I try it and if I fail it, where's going to be my life? Music is my favorite thing, my passion, biggest passion. And if I lose it, I don't want to be like that. So that was my hidden belief. That was really blocking myself to go that way. And then I quit my job at the time. I went for traveling. I first went to Australia, beatboxing on the street, making money out of people on the street. And that was my really first challenge, to be a full-time musician. And I also went to New York and come back and forth in Japan. Then he was still on the way to become a successful musician or whatever. My father told me, are you seriously going to succeed me in the future? And I said, yes. And he said, if you're going to, it's better to go to monastery as soon as possible, as early as possible. It's because monastic period in Japan is definitely the younger the better, because sometimes summer it's really hot, winter is really cold, and mostly practices were physical work. Shoveling snow in wintertime, which is really hard, and weeding summertime whole day, which is also really hard. And of course, remembering all the sutras and practices, all the rituals, ways, it's definitely better to be younger. And also my father said, just go to monastery and practice for years, and you can come back and you can do whatever you want again. That sounded kind of makes sense to me. So I went to monastery much earlier than I expected, which was 9 years ago. and practice with the Zen master Koshu Itabashi, and had some beautiful moments during my practice. So as I said, nothing special. I had some really beautiful moment and experience. I was doing nothing special. So this experience really influenced me a lot. In a way, this teaching and practice is really real. I had some really beautiful moment. It was kind of sunset time. I was doing nothing special. I was just pushing a cart with full of smelly garbage. And then after dumping the garbage in a place, somehow I just started feeling really blissful feeling with full of appreciation. And just start feeling that, whoa, how I am so grateful to be here with my teacher and practicing here every day with this regular practice. It was just so beautiful moment, and it was a really beautiful time actually. It was kind of sunset. So that also helped me, but at the same time I was just pushing a cart with full of garbage. What is it's nothing special, even that's maybe worse than normal because it's smelly garbage. And with that experience, my curiosity and my passion was how I could apply this experience to everyone with my passion and curiosity. So after years of practice in the monastery, I lived back in Tokyo where I was born and raised. And I started music again, combining singing mantra and sutras on top of my live looping music, which is spontaneously created music. And people started saying, oh, your music is very meditative. I can meditate with the music, and I can clean my room with the music. I can cook with the music. I can practice yoga with the music. Then, oh, this music might help people in a way. Then I more shifting to guiding people to meditate with music, especially for those who are struggling sitting meditation in silence. I didn't have any idea that people can meditate with music, to be honest, because meditation always, we do meditation in silence. But for some people, if there is something that you can really focus, it helps a lot. And then also, I started guiding people breath work. So as I said, breath is also the way that we feel our life, that we are alive. People talk about health. People talk about food. talk about what they drink. But only a few people talk about how we breathe. If we stop drinking water, how long we could survive? If we stop eating, how long we could survive? A few days at least, a few weeks probably. But if you stop breathing, how long we could survive? So breathing is something we are unconsciously doing all the time and not paying attention to so much. But as my master, my teacher, I was always saying, this breath, one breath, another breath. This is how we feel our own lives. So this is also breath work. In my perspective, it's very rooted Zen practice in a way. You have to be really in this present moment and fully feeling. And we do the breath retention after the breath work. And through the breath retention, while you're holding your breath, you face fear. Because when we cannot breathe, we're going to face on a life-threatening moment. This is real. And start facing and feeling your fear. And this is the practice, how you deal with it. The moment when you start feeling the fear and anxiety, you can relax your body. While your body unconsciously try to tense your body, but you can intentionally try to relax your body. This is actually a very good practice in a daily life. When you start feeling some emotional reaction, you can notice your body is having some tension at some moment. And the moment when you notice it, you can just relax your body and let it go. So starting from breath work and a guided meditation with voice. This is also the way you can be fully into the moment. So in the Zen monastery, we do morning service every day, every morning, evening service. It's a service with chanting. And when we chant, we were kind of just chanting, just doing it without thinking anything else. So our teachers used to say, we remember sutra, but not really without thinking mind, left side memory, but your mouth. We remember how it moves. So without thinking, if you chant same sutra every single day, it doesn't really come from memory, but it comes from your movement of your mouth. So everything is going to be very automatic without any thinking. And then, when it happens, I noticed that I'm just actually making voice, and I'm with that frequency. And this experience is really powerful, because as long as you be with this phenomenon, I was feeling very clear mind, feeling really I could purify myself. And also when I was creating my own music with my vocal sounds, I was feeling the same. So my idea was I could apply this experience to everyone. So doing the breath work first, then start meditating with a little starting from really subtle hum. And then focusing on the vibration. And everyone's feedback was just amazing. Everyone seems to have some really deep meditative experience, even if they were not practicing even meditation. And some people really had some really healing experience, deep healing experience. Tears were dropping with no reason. Of course, there should be some reason, but for them, I don't know the reason why I was crying, but some emotional purification was happening in a way. So I found myself, this is the way I can apply through my passion into the practice for people to have less suffering. Buddhism is about how we can live with less suffering, which means how we can find our own suffering. There are sufferings we cannot really avoid as a fundamental teaching of Buddhism. But in most cases, we are creating our own suffering with our mind, with our own belief, creating our own reality from our belief. So my mission is how I can share this experience with people with more accessible way. With some nothing special way. Breath, voice. And I also guide people to move their body to meditate. So it's a moving meditation. With the music and moving meditation, people call it as a dance. Some people call it as an ecstatic dance. But it's actually a movement, meditative experience with movement, which we can apply to our daily life as well, without music, even without music. Because we are moving all the time. And breath, voice, movement, those activities are most primal actions we've been doing since we were born. What babies do just after they're born. They breathe, they start breathing first, then start crying with the voice, and then they move. That's how they experience themselves that they are there. They cannot even see anything. So this is the practice or experience that I've been sharing around the world. And I'm going to have this workshop this afternoon. Some spaces are still available, so you can check out the reception for signing in. And so in the end, I'd like to suggest for a way of living from my experience, which is Ikigai and Zen. And I call my project as Ikigai Zen Journey, which I think is becoming more important with a new period of time is coming with technology, which probably making a lot of people to lose their identity. But which is also is going to be a big chance to investigate ourselves. With the new technology that we call AI, I believe people need to be experiencing something that makes us really alive, rather than thinking about something, working for something with thinking mind. People rather experience what life is. And Ikigai, your passion, your favorite thing to do, also makes you feel alive. It will be unique. Everyone's different. So everyone can find their own Ikigai, which is coming from your passion and curiosity, which are strongest drive for your life. And Zen practice, cleaning, is how you manage your own space and how you experience everything connected, your inner side and the outer side. It's so obvious, the result is so obvious. If you clean your space, you feel refreshed. Cooking, it's so obvious. If you cook something good and serve others, they will be happy. It's a virtue that you can cook and serve others. So Zen practice, this daily life housework, which people call, and your passion and curiosity. And I believe these elements are going to be essential for living a life with a full of content, and feeling yourself as you are. So I hope some of you would experience this at my workshop this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining my Dharma talk. And this is the end of my talk. Yeah. So just relax and you can close your eyes to just feel the music itself. Try feeling your body, feel the sensation, whatever you feel inside of your body, and notice it. Hannya Haramitta Shin. Satsunyōji Hannya Haramitta Jisho Kengon Kaiku Doi Saiku Yakusha Rishi Shiki Fuiku Kufu Ishiki Shiki Sokuze Kuku Sokuze Shiki Ju Songyo Shiki Yakubu Ze Shari Shi Ze Sho Kuso Fusho Fumetsu Fuku Fujo Fuzo Fugenze Koku Chumu Shiki Muju Sogyo Shiki Mugen Nibize Shin Nimushiki Shoko Misoku Mugen Kainai Shimu Ishiki Kaimu Mumyoyak Pumu Myojin Nai Shimu Roshi Yaku Muroshi Jin Fuku Shumetsudo Uchi Yakumu Tokuimu Shoto Kobo Taisapta Hannya Haramitta Koshimu Kenge Mukenge Ko Fukufu Omni Saiten Musoku Nyone Sanze Shobutsu Hannya Haramitta
やごとくあのとたら三脈三宝大高知般若あらみた世大人衆税内名衆税無常衆税無東道衆の上一切空真実高校説般若ハラミタ種即説種末にゃてにゃてあらにゃてあらそうにゃてぼじそわかはんにゃしんよパラサンガテモリスパ